A lockdown is used when there is a threat inside the school building. There may be a report of a weapon on campus or something worse. There could be an armed intruder or some other threat inside the building. I would like to introduce to everyone the concept of establishing time barriers. It has been proven in numerous studies that a locked classroom door is a proven time barrier. The U.S. Department of Justice has studied these events. 70% of violent incidents are over in 5 minutes, while 90% are over within the first 10 minutes. In 2015, the Sandy Hook Commission released their summary report, which found that the #1 environmental design recommendation for safety was the ability to lock the classroom door from inside the classroom. Everyone should have the ability to lock a classroom or office door. The Commission found 0 cases of a gunman breaching a locked classroom door. 0. At United ISD, the standards of safe practices state that all classroom doors are locked. All classroom doors within the school building and in portables must be locked. The slide magnet must be in place over the strike plate to allow anyone in the classroom to quickly lock and secure the classroom. If your door does not have a magnetic strip or does not properly work, contact your campus site safety compliance officer. Let's review what students should do during a lockdown protocol. So students will hear the following. Lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight. Lockdown, locks, lights, out of sight. If students are in a classroom, the first thing is to stay out of sight from the classroom door window. How does one know you're out of sight? If you cannot see out the door hall window, then no one in the hall can see you. Second, sit on the floor in the area indicated as the visual blind spot and get low. Lay flat if possible. Look for the tape indicator on the floor, which will run diagonally out of the line of sight in a classroom. The indicator, a black and yellow tape on the floor, serves the purpose of indicating the start and the end of the blind spot from a door window. Students and staff are to stay in the blind spot area or find an alternative hiding spot. Once out of sight, be absolutely silent. Turn your phone to silent mode in the initial stages of a lockdown. If there is an actual lockdown, you'll get a chance to communicate with others later. Do not open the door for anyone. Administrators or law enforcement will unlock the door and release the individuals in the room. If someone identifies themselves as law enforcement and asks that the door be opened, do not open the door. What if there is no teacher or adult where you are? Get behind a locked door as soon as possible, or if the threat is not in your immediate vicinity, evacuate the area. What if a student is in a hallway when a lockdown is called? Get to a classroom, any classroom, office area. Just move out of the hallway as quickly as you can and follow the lockdown protocols. If classrooms are already locked, then find a place to hide. Do not go from classroom to classroom. Evacuating the area may be another option. 2 final messages here. Should the fire alarm go off during a lockdown, do not evacuate. Wait for an announcement. Second, once law enforcement administration opens the door, do not hold up your cell phones upon their entry. Remember that law enforcement may have just been involved in a serious incident and they are walking into a dark classroom. Flashing a phone or taking pics with flash or no flash should not be the priority, and we do not want to have them mistake a cell phone for a weapon. Let's look at what teachers should do during a lockdown protocol. When you hear lockdown, locks, light, out of sight, Depending on what you see and hear, you may want to view the hallway area for other students. If the threat is close to your classroom, focus on getting the door locked and closed as quickly as possible. A locked classroom door is a proven lifesaver. Turn off the lights and move students to the designated blind spot area. Be silent and make all attempts to maintain student silence. Silence your phone as well. The next question is, should the door window be covered? A teacher should determine if all students can safely be placed in the blind spot area. Remember, this is a line of sight determined from standing as close as possible to the door window in the hall and indicating the blind spot area. If teachers can determine that all students do not fit in this area, then covering your window is the best practice. Create a way to cover your window in a form that is quick and efficient. Law enforcement agencies are recommending that no messages are slipped under classroom doors into hallways. With regards to classroom window blinds that overlook outside, the district recommends that they be left as is. It is more important to stay out of the line of vision from the hallway and to stay low. A lockdown may be ended with a PA announcement, a phone intercom announcement, or when administration or police open the door and have a controlled release of the room or school. If you can, teachers, take attendance. Note if you have missing students or extra students that have taken shelter from the hall in your class. Note the time. You probably won't need to do anything with this roster at this point, but a record of accountability is being created and may be useful over the entire course of the event. If available and appropriate, use Navigate Prepare to do this. During a drill, this should always be done. If you have not been trained on Navigate Prepared or do not have access, visit your campus site safety compliance officer. A few other instructions with regards to lockdown protocols. If a group or class is outdoors and a lockdown protocol is called, do not go back into the building. Rather, go to a safe location. If you can, notify someone at the school of your location. If the fire alarm is activated during a lockdown, stay in the classroom unless you see fire or if smoke is filling your classroom. If you must evacuate due to fire or smoke, the hallway may not be your best option to evacuate. Consider using an alternate door or window. In the time immediately after a lockdown is called, remain silent and silence your phone. As the event evolves, you'll be given an opportunity to use your phone to make contact with those outside of the school setting. United ISD uses an automated messaging system that will message parents and employees as soon as a lockdown is confirmed. This can usually take 5 to 10 minutes from the start of a lockdown. Thus, it is important that staff and student contact information data is up to date.
Chances are you'll never face a situation like this one, but if you do, you need to be prepared. I'm Sergeant Sergio Garcia with the United ISD Police Department, and I'm here to guide you as to what to do in the event of an active shooter or a threat on your campus. The United Independent School District Police Department trains countless hours to be prepared for emergency situations like this one. Our number one priority is to keep you safe. You must practice situational awareness and be empowered to best respond to an active threat or a shooter event. These events can happen at a moment in time where a lockdown may be delayed to call or even hard to hear, such in the cafeteria, hallway, or even outside. If you're not in a classroom or a lockable room to hide and cover, it is important to make an evaluation and practice situational awareness and empower yourself to do what is best in this situation. Run. Evacuate if possible. If there is a considerable distance between you, the gunfire, the armed person, or the threat, quickly distance yourself from the threat. If the gunfire or armed person is in your building and it is safe to do so, run. Run out of the building and move far away until you are secure in a place to hide. Leave your belongings behind. Keep hands visible to law enforcement if they are present. Take others with you, but do not stay behind, because others will not go. Call 911 when it's safe to do so. Do not assume that someone has already reported the incident. The information that you provide law enforcement may be critical. Number of shooters, physical descriptions and identifications, number and types of weapons, and location of the threat. If the shooter or threat is in close proximity and you cannot evacuate safely, hide in an area out of the armed person's view. Choose a hiding place with thicker walls and fewer windows. If possible, lock doors and barricade the furniture and turn off the lights. Silence phones and turn off other electronics. If you are in a restroom and danger is too close to avoid, hide as best as you can by standing on top of the toilet or commode. If you are outdoors and cannot run safely, find a place to hide that will provide protection from gunfire, such as a brick wall, large trash cans, cars, or a building. Remain in place until you are able to determine that an all clear has been made, or wait for law enforcement to tell you what to do. You may call 911. As a last resort, fight. Take action to disrupt or incapacitate the shooter. If you cannot evacuate or hide safely, and only when your life is in imminent danger, take action. Attempt to incapacitate or disrupt the actions of the shooter. Use books, chairs, computers, anything within your reach. Act with physical aggression towards the shooter. Throw items at the shooter if possible. Call 911 when it's safe to do so immediately after the incident. Wait for local law enforcement officers to assist you out of the building. If inside, when law enforcement arrives, students and employees must display empty hands with open palms. Understand that gunfire may sound artificial. Assume that any popping sound is gunfire. Be mindful that violent attacks can involve any type of weapons, not just a gun, such as knives, blunt objects, physical force, or explosives can be just as deadly as a gun. The suggested actions provided here are applicable in any violent encounter. Plan ahead. Visualize possible escape routes, including physically accessible routes for students and staff with disabilities and others with limited mobility. When it comes to school safety and security, United ISD takes all situations seriously. Report any safety concerns to a parent, guardian, a trusted adult, campus administration, or United ISD Police Department. Remember, if you see something, say something. Everyone is reminded to avoid posting content on social media that may be considered threatening or that may be false. Reports of threats, bullying, or safety concerns can be made anonymously through the district website at www.uisd.net/keepuisdsafe or by calling Crime Stoppers 727-TIPS. School safety and security is part of United ISD's mission in providing a high-quality education. Remember to be aware of your surroundings. School safety is a shared responsibility, and it starts with you. For questions, comments, or concerns about your safety, contact your campus department's site safety compliance officer. Email safety@uisd.net or visit www.uisd.net/keepuisdsafe.